Front stage service workers need to be able to communicate effectively and to improvise effectively. Things don't always go right, and the front line is where the action is. Whether the hotel has lost your reservation, or your flight is delayed, or your coffee isn't just right, your service experience depends almost entirely on the frontline folks' ability to handle the situation and their ability to handle you. If you haven't already done so, be sure to watch the United Brass Guitars video and also the Seinfeld clips for this week. They portray in very different ways customers seeing a decided lack of empathy on the part of the frontline workers. What makes Dave Carroll so mad, according to the song, is not just that they broke his expensive Taylor guitar, but that no one he came in contact with seemed particularly sympathetic toward him or toward his problem. What makes Jerry Seinfeld so funny is that the frontline workers do not express any sort of human emotion. Now, these may be extreme examples, but the point is that we're all human, and much of the time, service interactions are human interactions. And we expect the people we come in contact with to be, well, human, to relate to us in ordinary ways. When something goes wrong, we expect understanding and some sympathy. It's just human nature. Perhaps the simplest way to ensure effective communication is through active listening. Not just listening, but constantly checking that there is understanding, repeating back what you heard, perhaps in slightly different words to be sure that you got it. Have you listened to that recording of the guy who was trying to cancel his cable service? Now, that's a pretty dramatic example of ineffective communication. It was kind of like the service representative was actively trying not to listen. Service experiences are individual experiences. That's what's meant when we say that services are heterogeneous. They are different for everyone. My experience at Disneyland is different from yours. My experience of the airplane trip is different from yours. And what's more, as co-producers of service, customers and frontline workers have to be very close, so there's understanding of both expectations and capabilities. Consider medical services. How would you feel when your doctor or nurse didn't appear to understand, to feel what you meant when you said it hurt here or it hurt here? When doctors seem sympathetic, empathetic, you're more satisfied. And also, you'll feel better, and that'll lead to better outcomes. But there's a limit to how empathetic you can be. Customers are not always right, and if you feel for them too much, they can lead you astray. And frontline workers have feelings too, and customers ought to empathize as well. But the point is, there has to be mutual understanding. On the provider side of the equation, there ought to be empathy, understanding as well. Employees need to feel that they are part of a team, cared for, empowered to do the right things for their customers and for themselves. Again, it's simply a human thing. Service is often about human relationships within organizations and with others. These are horizontal skills, the top of the T. It is kind of like the human glue that holds everything together, and it is a prerequisite to understanding, just as effective communication and listening skills are prerequisites.